Chapter 5. Swim team tryouts were Friday after school. Monroe asked if he could come to the pool and watch. He said he could cheer me on. We'd been hanging out together all week. We were getting to be pretty good friends. I told him how tense I was about trying out, but I didn't tell him about my nightmares. I guess I didn't think I knew him well enough. I didn't want him to think I was weird. Or maybe I didn't want him to laugh at me when I said I dreamed about a monster pulling me under the water. But as Monroe and I stepped into the school swimming pool, I couldn't force the horrible dream from my mind. My school is very lucky. We have an Olympic-sized pool. It's behind the main building. The walls are blue tile and the ceiling is a giant skylight. There are locker rooms at one end and bleachers on the sides for people to watch the swim meets. I took a deep breath. I loved the smell of chlorine. Sunlight beamed down over the sparkling blue water. The air felt hot and steamy and made my face prickle. A few kids were already in the pool. They were doing warm-up exercises. Coach Waller is a huge dude. Really. He always reminds me of a light-haired version of the Hulk. He looks like he should be a wrestling coach, but he teaches math and coaches swimming and tennis. He came lumbering over to me as I stepped toward the locker room. "Bean, get changed. This pool is going to be crowded. Someone messed up the schedule, so we're having boys' team and girls' team tryouts at the same time. We'll swim the width of the pool instead of the length." "This is my friend Monroe," I said. "He just came to watch." Waller eyed Monroe. "You're the new kid, right? You don't swim?" Monroe shrugged. "Not very well." Waller pointed to the bleachers across the pool. "Go have a seat, Monroe. Bean, get moving. I want to see what you've got. I'm not looking for speed today, just endurance." Endurance? Did that mean he wanted to see how many laps I could swim? I felt a tremor of fear. My stomach did a slow flip-flop. My dad taught me to swim. He says I've got a really good stroke, but maybe he was just being nice. Maybe I'm not as good as the other guys. Maybe my swimming is totally lame. Waller hurried off to talk to some other swimmers. I gazed into the water. Ripples of sunlight made the whole pool seem to be rolling as if it had waves. I saw Lissa in the deep end. She was warming up by swimming slow laps across the width of the pool. I waved to her, but I don't think she saw me. "Lissa, you got me into this. I hope it isn't a total disaster." As I stepped into the locker room to change, my nightmare flashed back into my mind. I saw the monster's dark shadow in the water sliding toward me, and once again I pictured the monster deep under the water pulling me down. Down. "No!" I didn't realize I had screamed out loud. A couple of guys turned from their lockers to stare at me. I could feel myself blushing. At the far end of the room, I saw Harlan. He had a white towel in his hand, and he was snapping it against the back of a small, red-haired kid. The kid was begging Harlan to stop. Harlan just laughed and snapped him again. Back out at the pool, I did some stretching exercises. The pool was filled up with swimmers. Voices rang loudly off the tile walls. At one side of the pool, 2 boys were having a splashing contest. Coach Waller quickly broke it up and told the boys to start practicing their breaststroke. He motioned to me. "Bean, go out to the deep end and do some slow laps to warm up. Practice your underwater turns off the wall, okay? I'm going to test you first." I nodded. My stomach flip-flopped again. Why did I have to go first? I lowered myself into the water. It was warmer than I expected. They keep the pool heated pretty high. I floated away from the pool wall. Lissa was still doing her practice laps near the deep end. She glided easily with slow, steady strokes. I wished I could be as calm as she was. I looked for Monroe in the bleachers. I couldn't find him. Maybe he got bored and changed his mind about watching. I ducked my head under the water. Then I edged between a group of girls and started to swim toward the deep end. I heard some guys laughing. Their laughter echoed off the walls. A whistle blew. The pool grew quieter. I began to swim. I felt pretty strong. I kept my head down and tried to keep my stroke steady. I did a lap across the pool, then a lap back. My heart beat faster. I raised my swim goggles and searched for Lissa, but she wasn't there. She must have finished her warm-up. I decided to do a few more laps. Moving through the water so easily was helping me get rid of my fear. I was suddenly glad to be tested first. I felt strong and confident. I swam a few more strokes, kicking hard, and then a feeling of dread in the pit of my stomach made me stop. Something down there. Something under the water. It wasn't a hunch. I knew it. I knew there was something dark and ugly down below. I bobbed on the surface, breathing hard. My arms, my legs, they froze. Water splashed my face. I struggled to slow my racing heart. Not my imagination. I'm not dreaming this. I had to look down. I had to see it. I had to prove to myself that I wasn't crazy. My fear was real because the creature in the water was real. I lowered my head and peered down into the blue-green ripples of water. Yes! I saw something move. A flash of black. A shadow sliding through the water, gliding like a huge manta ray, like a winged bat. A big dark blot deep in the water, moving forward rapidly, coming for me. The monster was coming for me, ready to grab me and pull me down. I saw it. I saw its inky shadow. My nightmare has come true. Gasping, shivering, I raised my head, and my shrill scream of terror echoed off the high pool walls.